Hello everyone, Ryan here from iOS Mars. As I said earlier, I'm back to show you guys a quick look into the MIDI, using Jam Maestro as a MIDI controller. You can use it as a live interface controller, or you can use the tab to sequence. Really cool either way. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys that today. I'm also going to show you a little bit of the inter-app audio and how that works as well. I'm not going to do that right off the bat because I have an old iPad 3rd generation. I cannot run 3 powerful apps at once. So I'll do them, I'm going to do TerraSynth and Animoog, and then I'll do DM1 later to show you guys how the drums work and everything. Pretty freaking cool anyways. So yeah, as always, I'm going to be using Audio Share to capture the high quality audio edited in over top of the video later on. So anyways, let's get started on this. I'm just going to pop back to the home page here, and let's create a new template. We'll start from scratch here. So TerraSynth, you don't need a whole lot of setup. One of the only things I can really say that you can do is make sure that you're on chromatic scale here, so you can get all your keys in. Otherwise, it's going to just change to the nearest key. Kind of frustrating when you're using MIDI. You got your MIDI channels here and everything that we could set up, but Omni's fine for what we're going to be doing. So we'll go back to Jam Maestro. Just click Add Instrument, and we'll click MIDI, of course. And for some reason, TerraSynth comes up as Addicted Synth in here. Addicted Synth is a different synthesizer app by VeerSyn. I assume that maybe they just use the same MIDI code and forgot to change this part or something. Maybe they'll watch this video and see this, but anyways, not really important. But Addictive Synth is what TerraSynth is. So anyhow, channel 1's fine. We can add some notes in there if we want. We're not going to right now because we don't really need to. And we'll just click load. And now we should be ready to go. Here, let me start the recording here. Alright, so as you can hear, it's working. We can also use the strum here. Although I noticed with the MIDI, it won't just ring out normally. You have to actually keep your strumming finger on the strumming board in order for it to continue to ring, which is kind of odd, but whatever. It works at the end of the day. So I'm not going to really use the strumming today, but let's pop on and add our Animoog in also. So we'll go back to our audio bus main panel here, and I had it primed and ready to go, so we'll just open it up. Animoog, we are going to have to set up a tiny little bit when we're doing this, so pop back in. Let's go to setup. Well, actually I had Jam Maestro selected from before, so Jam Maestro will work. Let's pop back into Jam Maestro. And we'll go back to our home here, and what we're going to do, we're going to make a new instrument to control this. MIDI again, and there's our Animoog. I'll use a bass for the Animoog this time. Okay, that should be it. We should be ready to go with this. See, I'm also going to have to set the scale, I believe, inside Animoog here. So let me check this out. Keyboard scale. Let's just add everything in, just to make sure. Looks like we got both of them hooked up successfully. So now one of the coolest things we can do here is we can actually use this dual view here. Alright, so as you can hear, pretty freaking cool. You can do a lot of different stuff with this, obviously these are just the default, the default, the default presets for both of these apps. So, obviously, sounds pretty good right now, but a little bit of tweaking and figuring out exactly what you want. You could do some really, really cool stuff here. Obviously, besides synthesizers, we can also do drums. What I'm going to do to show you the drums is I'm just going to start a new project and get rid of all these apps that I have open. Just because if I add DM1 into this mix, there's a good chance that my audio will crash on my iPad 3 here. So anyhow, I'm just going to stop this recording right now. And we'll go back to the beginning. Let's just click New. And I'll go to my audio bus panel here. And we're just going to unload our two apps there. And let's go ahead and add our DM1 just primed to open here. I'm going to go in the background and get rid of my Animoog. TerraSynth. We still got audio share running. We want audio share running still, so that's good. Alright, so let's open up our DM1 here. I am going to be using inter-app audio, but I'm also going to use Audio Bus just to record into audio share. You don't really need Audio Bus if you're doing this live or anything, but in order to record it, this is the easiest way for me to do it, so I'm going to use inter-app audio, but we're going to be recording the results also into audio share. So we should nearly be ready to go. Actually, I think we are ready to go. We don't really need to mess with DM1 here. So I'll just pop back into Jam Maestro, and we're just going to click Add New Instrument. And now obviously we'll pick the inter-app audio. Really cool how this all comes up. Really nice little interface here. I like it. So let's click DM1 and excuse me, and we'll select drums and hit load. And now we should be able to just click. We should be able to just click. Just want one. And we'll click this, and as we see, we got our little icon there. We can go back and forth. So let me start the recording on audio share there. Close this stuff down a bit. And so we'll try this out. Okay, so obviously you notice that our drums do not look correct. we obviously got our bass drum coming out of the hi-hat cymbal here. And now there's a number of things that you can do to fix this. It's all going to involve pressing this setup button here. But as you can see, when we press the setup, we can drag our stuff around. We can click this little tool icon here, and we can actually go in and change this to the proper icon. We can edit the label. It's not a hi-hat, it's our bass drum. And we can, there we go. See, now we can take that and move it around or whatever we want. But you know, I'm not going to go through and change all these so that they match. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because the creator of this app, David Blake, he's actually gone through the trouble of making us tons and tons of presets in order to use this. So as you can see, he's created quite a few presets. I'm just going to select the DM1 basic here, a preset he's made for DM1, which is what we're using. So we'll click load, and now you can see that all the drum pictures match up, and we have a little bit of a better interface to play with here. So yeah, we can do that, and then, you know, another thing, like I said before, we can also sequence anything here. So, you know, obviously DM1 we don't really need to sequence anything because, you know, it has a built-in sequencer, and that's what the app's all about. It's really good and everything. This one really can't compete, but if you want to sequence your whole song inside the tab here, you can actually do that by, you know, we can do all the drums, and then we can go back in and, you know, add in guitar and bass over top of it and everything right in here. So we can do that, but for this one we'll just make a little simple beat here. I'm gonna hide that audio bus panel. Alright, let's click the loop button here. Let's click on, and we should be able to... Oh, I see what's happening. It's also receiving our main. Here, let me delete this. It's actually using our clock sync to play the pattern that I had made. So let me go back into DM1 here so that I can show you how the sequencer works. And we can actually... How can we do this? I think that should work. Cleared them all. There we go. So that's one way to do it. Obviously, probably not the best way to do this. I know when we are using DM1 with MIDI, we have the option to turn clock sync on or off. You know, maybe I have it set up in the options here too. That's probably actually what's going on. So I have it in the options here. Yes, I do. So that's probably what was going on there anyways. So we could just undo that way and not have to delete our patterns. But anyhow, let's add this hide the panel again. And our loop is still on. There we go. So there we go. So obviously, you know, we can add all of our drums in here if we want or whatever. But you know, I probably should have shown you when I was doing well, actually, you know what? I'll just do that really quick. I'm going to close all this out, and I'll just go back in and go back to MIDI. Actually, we could probably add that in here. Let's try to add it in and see what happens. I'm going to close out the DM1. We're not going to use that anymore. And we'll go back to Animoog, and we'll mess around with this for a little bit and see if we can make a sequenced, you know what I mean, inside Jam Maestro. So let's go ahead and get rid of DM1, and we'll just pop back into Jam Maestro, and we'll open a new one. No, we do not want to save that. Back to MIDI, Animoog. We'll use the guitar interface for it this time. That's fine. Yeah, that should be all we need, and we should be able to. Let me go back to this, and I do not like the auto scale so much. So there we go. We can see that a little bit better. Okay, so let's go ahead and duplicate this. Duplicate it 3-4 times. And then the last one here, I'm actually going to go ahead and just change it a little bit. If any of you have ever done guitar tab before, this will probably be a little bit easier for you. So let's turn the looper on here again. And go. Right on. So as you can see, using the tab to sequence it does in fact work, and it works pretty well. I really like how this all comes together. You know, tab is something I worked with for a long time, so I'm really comfortable with looking at it and understanding what notes are going on and everything. Yeah, I think this is probably all I need to really show you to get started with you know, using MIDI or in-app audio with Jam Maestro. So right on. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Lock me away from the brightness of the day. Lock me away so I can see your tears falling. Here I'll stay until the pain has gone away. Here I'll stay until the dawn of a new day. Lock me away, because my life is not worthwhile. Lock me away until the day I see you smile. Here I'll stay until the time